Wow. 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 I got the record and fact book of 2023. And Roger signed it. My God. I got the record and fact book. Remember, nobody gets this. Florio's off the list. They're down on him. To get Peter King.
Chris, Mad Dog Russo still getting the rare print copy of the record and fact book. Did you get one this year?
I sure did.
I did not. They sent me one 24. I didn't get one 25.
Yeah.
I don't want them anymore. I don't use it anymore.
I
get
love
it
them.
all on my computer.
You got it. You know me. I can't. Welcome, Mr. Sims. And he had Seattle a long time ago,
Yes.
Michael. Did he
He's been all
not?
over
Well, first
Seattle.
off, welcome to our show. Okay?
Great job on that.
But,
Well,
no,
yeah.
I didn't pick them go, but I just said they were one of those teams that I go
You
watch
hit
out
it.
for early in the year,
Yeah,
or at least midpoint of the year.
I
Right.
mean, in the big play,
Yeah.
the big series for them. I'll tell you, the big play of the year for them was the punt return by Shaheed at
changed
30-14.
Right.
December 18th,
No
Mike.
doubt.
If they don't get that touchdown against the Rams, they
Right.
probably lose.
Right.
Rams get the 1 seed.
And
Seattle
who
be on the
knows?
road. Who the hell knows?
Exactly.
Now, and Donald didn't play well in that game until the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
That was a huge play.
Huge play.
Huge play.
All right, before we get down football lane, first off, when did you become the most interesting, sexy man in the world where you just go, I don't need to comb my hair anymore. I'm just going to let it fly and go whatever the hell I want. Yeah, look at you.
You know, and I did a couple already today
Did you?
where I didn't even brush my hair or shave. And I thought I came in last night and I got in late and I
Yeah.
got up at 5:30, 5:45.
Right.
And I love Florio, as he knows, forever. And I said, I better look decent for Mike. I said, what the heck, go in character and be a nutcase when you go on here. So that's why I didn't do it.
Are you going to do this when you're on ESPN
No,
on First
tomorrow I
Take?
will
You have to shave. They make you shave?
That's big time, Mike. That's big time.
Yeah, it is,
I'm
yeah.
kidding.
You're so
I
good
got to
on
look
that, though.
decent tomorrow.
It's so much fun to see you just go there and just take over.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you need to be in person too. Sometimes you do it in a video; it's not
That's
quite the same.
yeah, right.
So you need, and I tell you, it's funny. The one I missed because I got deathly ill for 24 hours was the one after the wild card rounds.
Right.
The Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's when Liam Cohen ran the ball 14 times and didn't kick field goals.
Right.
You know, I had a lot to do that day.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to freaking do it, which drove me crazy.
That's the worst,
That
when you don't
bothered
get
me.
to say it.
And
you
the
get all
Rams,
things.
McVay, end of the half, he's up 17-7. He goes for it.
That was so
and doesn't
stupid.
kick the field goal. You know,
Right.
things like that.
Yeah,
really
yeah, I
miss.
hear you. When you don't get to say that, and
That
it's just
bothered
what
me.
you love, it bothers you. I
And
hear you.
Peyton-
The snowstorm after the AFC and NFC championship games, it kind of disrupted our TV schedule and everything there, and I was pissed.
Oh, you didn't get on the next day?
I didn't really get on. I was pissed because
that
I
would
was
be a
like,
problem.
I was like, gosh, I mean, I got I'm writing notes in my phone and watching the game, and not to be able to say it or do it, yeah,
And
that
I
hurt.
didn't get a chance to do
Right.
a mad about last Wednesday because we had the Giannis stuff.
Right.
And the big one I was going to use is how does Sean Payton fire his offensive coordinator Lombardi when he's the one who didn't go for it on 4th and 1?
He's calling
and
the
he
plays.
calls the plays. And he got 30 points out of Buffalo the week before. Now,
Right.
and of course, he's Vince's grandson, so I would have had a ball with that. Hey, yeah, have fun. I do it now with you, Mike. I do it
That's
now
good.
with you.
That's good. Well, and I think what he wanted to do, he wanted to bump up Davis Webb into that job because somebody else was going to hire Davis
Right,
Webb.
you would know
and
better
they've
than
since
me.
done that.
Right.
Davis
Okay.
Webb's now the offensive coordinator. So
Oh, when he
sorry,
oh,
Vince's grandson.
So Denver, so
you're
he
out.
doesn't go to the Giants.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what happened there.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are smarter than me.
Yeah, nah,
Give
we're
me a
not.
good trivia question for
Yeah.
the week.
Oh, a good trivia.
Super Bowl
question.
trivia master, Chris Mad Dog
Wow,
Russo.
Super Bowl top of this beach ass with that. All right, let me think. A good trivia question. All right, well, this is an easy one. You're going to
Okay.
get it. MVP of a losing Super Bowl team.
Oh, Chuck Howley from my hometown.
Is he the only
West
one, by the way?
Virginia University.
Is he?
From Wheeling, West Virginia.
Is he the only one?
He's the only one.
Thurman Thomas didn't
Thurman
win
Thomas should have. He could
They
have.
gave it
but
Otis Anderson.
which
Okay.
I understand because he played an awesome game too.
That's a good one.
We've had a few that
I
have
got
been
one
close.
for you that I've been carrying around for weeks.
Right.
Because Jason Garrett, we ride back to the hotel when we're done on Sundays. He said, hey, I got a good Super Bowl trivia question for you. So I said, I got to file this one away from Mad Dog.
Right.
All right. Of all the Super Bowls, quarterbacks wearing number 1 to 19, what's the only number
That hasn't been worn?
that hasn't won a Super Bowl
That hasn't won one.
as a quarterback?
Wow.
The number.
The only number
Of 1 through 19.
not represented 1 through 19.
I want to say right off the bat and go 13.
No.
But yeah. All right.
I can't
So
tell you
Kurt
who,
Warner
but no.
got 13?
Kurt Warner had 13.
Right.
So there you go.
That's a good. Wow, that's a
hold on.
very good. Well, you got to go through it. Obviously, Brady, no.
Yeah.
What was Peyton's number?
Manning's 18, so that's off the board.
That's out.
Oh, wait.
What was Eli's number?
It was 10.
10, that's off the board.
That's off the board. Phil Simms is 11. That's off
That's
the
off the
board.
You would know that. If you don't know it, we're in
right
big
off the
trouble.
bat. Wait, let's just start at the top.
Well,
Who's
one.
number 1? Nobody. Cam Newton lost it. I don't know if there's been a number 1 that's won the Super Bowl.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts,
Man.
duh. That was
Clip
dumb.
that and send it to
That's
Philly,
a good
please.
job on your
Right.
part.
Chris
That was
Sims,
dumb.
football historian, forgets that the Eagles and Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl last year.
That's a very good question.
This is a good one. I'm really dying to figure this out, actually.
We can put a
wore
pin
eight?
in it. We
Who
can come
wore
back
eight?
to it. Steve Young.
That's right.
Five might be one that
No, 5 was.
Let's see.
We'll figure out 5. There was a
Yeah.
5.
Donovan McNabb's been in it, but I
Yeah.
can't think of who the 5 would be that won the Super
What
Bowl.
was Dawson's number?
Dawson's 16,
16
like
is
Joe
Dawson.
Montana.
All right.
Right.
Stabler was what?
Stabler was 12.
Okay, a lot of 12s.
Yeah.
17 might be one that's missing too, actually. Oh, Doug Williams was 17.
Doug
that
Williams
doesn't do
was
it.
Yeah, he had the great.
Yeah.
Go
Flacco
ahead.
was 5.
Flacco was
Flacco was 5.
That
So
was
you just-
Flacco.
Do you just
There
want
we
to know?
go.
Do you want the numbers?
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead, tell us.
6.
6, duh.
Six.
Never
Yeah.
has. Wow, that's a. How has there been a 6 in the game?
I don't even think there is. Jay Cutler was 6. He lost in the championship game, right, where Aaron Rodgers and the Packers won.
What number was Grossman?
Grossman was 8. He was 8, right. So you're right. I don't even know if there's been
You
a
can
6
use
in the
that one
game.
on your show.
That's a
I
good
love
one, though.
that
Yeah.
one.
It's a good
That's
one.
a great
I would
question.
have got there
Jason Garrett.
eventually.
Who's
That's a good one.
19?
19
Did
Johnny
Unitas
U?
win
No,
one?
Johnny,
Yeah,
He
Unitas,
won
what
one.
year did he?
He won it as in
5?
Super Bowl 5.
Yeah, he
as the
did win
backup,
it.
kind
He
of.
Jim
was-
O'Brien
the
with
backup.
He came in and played. He
That's
played
the
a lot
one-
in the
A little
game.
bit, right.
That's the one Chuck Howley won the MVP.
That's why the Cowboys don't
Cowboys.
wear the blue jerseys. They don't like them. They're
I-
rooted in bad luck.
Here's another Super Bowl one. It's
Right.
not a oddity. In Super Bowl 3, did you know it was 16-7 with 2.5 left, and they had a 4th down, and the Colts went for it and didn't kick the field goal?
Man, I did not realize that.
Yep.
They don't say that on
16-7.
Super Bowl memories.
And
That's
he
correct.
did not kick a field. No, I don't know what
Wow.
the yardage was.
Right.
But he had a 4th down over the 2 minutes, 16-7. No, they had 5 turnovers in that game.
Yeah.
They shot themselves in the foot the whole game.
Yeah.
That is an interesting one.
Yeah,
right
that
All
there.
is
right,
good.
broad picture, right? Just go right with what comes to your head. What's your favorite Super Bowl ever? What was your favorite one, right? Like, what's your favorite one that you just think
I mean,
of?
I'm still going to say it's probably the Bills and the Giants.
And, yeah, Super Bowl
That
25.
was a great game. No turnovers.
Right.
The great play by Hostetler on a safety, not
Yeah,
fumbling.
right.
The good drive by Buffalo late, and of course the 48-yard field
Right.
goal.
The game plan by the Giants.
The Giants won that game with offense. They had the ball for 40 minutes.
Right.
Ron Earhart won that game.
Yeah.
They did a great job on
And
the ground.
Belichick selling the
Belichick, the
defense
2
on
and
letting
3 men
Thurman,
rush.
Thurman Thomas
give the
run.
ball,
Yeah.
stop the receivers, knock Andre Reed all over the place.
Exactly right.
And Jumbo Elliott did a great job on Bruce
He
Smith
did,
in that
other
game.
than that one play. That
Plus,
was it.
no week off. And that was a huge advantage. It was Buffalo's, George Young used to tell me this.
Right.
It was Buffalo's first Super Bowl. The Giants set up all their equipment down in Tampa before the championship game.
Right.
So when the Giants got from San Francisco, there was they were ready to go.
Right.
Buffalo was scrambling all over the place and everything else. And remember, Buffalo won the Raider game 52-3.
51-3,
They
right.
were and they beat the Giants late in the year when their father got
might hurt his foot, right.
So they were very overconfident.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Giants, the war, Persian Gulf, Whitney Houston at the half,
Exactly.
the old sombrero.
I'm with you.
That was a classic.
It's up there. It's up there.
Was it just 1 week between the
No,
conference championships?
there was no week off that year.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
had a boom. You had a, I mean, what
And George told
I
me
mean, from San Francisco straight to Tampa.
Well, and the Giants used it as motivation in the NFC Championship game. Even though the Giants moved their stuff to Tampa, their big thing was San Francisco's already put their stuff in Tampa. Like how
So they used it both ways.
They used it both ways.
That's
They were
good.
prepared, but yet they use it as bulletin board.
And Mark
material.
Levy closing the shades because he didn't want to see his team practice.
Right.
Buffalo, he was a little shaky in these games. I don't care what anybody says.
I hear you there.
And that's why I wouldn't have put him in the Hall of Fame. He's got 143 wins and he's got 4 Super Bowl losses.
Yeah.
And he's where's Dan
And the
Reeves?
coach never gave him any advantage in those games
And
or
put
anything.
Dan Reeves in.
Right.
He got. He
Well, the
was
whole
two different
coaching thing in
teams.
the Hall of Fame is stupid
It's a
anyway.
mess
They
now,
gotta
and the log
just-
jam's getting even deeper.
How is Mike
because-
Shanahan not in already?
Oh, I
Mike
agree.
Holmgren.
I mean, come on. I mean, Mike Shanahan won 2 Super
And
Bowls, and
Kraft's not
everybody's
in today?
still in
Is
their
that true?
offense.
Kraft's
still.
not in.
Yeah, right. All right, what's your favorite Super Bowl
Mike
ever?
Holmgren, but Mike Holmgren could have made it last year, but it was
Right.
the same. He got caught up in the same thing that Bill Belichick
Yeah,
got
yeah.
caught up in.
Yeah.
It's not up or down. You're in this cluster of 5 people,
Right.
and you don't get enough votes, and you don't get in. My favorite had to be 51. We were talking about it earlier with Matt Sims, his brother, who was
yeah.
on the Falcons team. Just how it's 28-3, and this thing is over. It's a blowout like it was back in the 70s when we were kids watching these damn games. Like, God. And then they start coming back. It's like, it's getting a little interesting. And then when Julio Jones makes that catch, put the ball in the 22, it's like, well, this thing's over now. And then it all flipped, and unbelievable.
Right.
That's the best.
The second Dallas-Pittsburgh game.
Yeah. Was
At 35-31.
35-31.
That was the first really exciting
That was
Super
a
Bowl.
great
Jackie
game.
Harris, God bless his heart.
And that was the famous Thomas Henderson to Terry Bradshaw.
cat.
You can't spell cat if you spell it in the C and the D.
Right.
That was a great game.
Oh, that was a game he stole the ball from and ran in for a touchdown.
He put his money where his mouth was in Miami. That was a great
Bradshaw
game.
won the MVP, threw for 300 yards, I think threw 3 touchdown passes, and also had 3 turnovers. I think he had 2 fumbles and an interception, right, which is odd. I think he had 3 turnovers in the first half of the game, honestly.
The next year's game against the Rams was exciting, too. Even though it was 31-19, it was close. It was close.
The great cover
in
the fourth quarter.
The great cover of Sports Illustrated with Stallworth catching the ball coming in over the top. Awesome.
Over number
Incredible
48.
shot. Incredible shot.
Yes.
Right. Look at us down history
Who do you like
lane
this
here.
week?
I mean, listen, I would be shocked if Seattle doesn't win. I mean, I'm going to base it a little bit on the fact that the Patriots have not played great in the postseason. They were lucky against the Chargers with the offensive line, and Herbert, by the way, time to wake up in a big game. Stroud handed him the game with the 4 turnovers.
I hear you.
And obviously, Peyton hurt. Backup quarterback. They've only averaged 17 points or whatever it is in the 3 games. And Seattle's playing really well right now. They got out of the NFC West. They're playing in an NFC West city, plus a little karma.
Yeah.
Seattle lost to them, and they should have won.
Right.
8-9 years ago.
Run the ball with Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, terrible.
11 years
That's
ago.
going to cost Pete Carroll being in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And also Russell Wilson.
Right. Right.
You need to redo that. I would think. Now, listen, Vrabel's great. He'll use this as motivation. Game could be close.
Yeah.
But I think Seattle will win.
But you like him with the points, too? You talking about here? What's it right now? What are we at? 4.5 still?
There is an old adage, and Mr. Florio knows this for gamblers.
Right.
You can't win?
No. Well, that you know. That you know. I'll give you a couple that I had that are props. That you know. In postseason play, take the team you think is going to win and not worry about the line.
Gotcha.
Now, the problem with it this year, you would have lost 3.
Yeah.
Denver covered against the Patriots.
Right.
And the Rams did not cover in both their first 2 wins.
Yeah.
Plus, Indiana didn't cover against Miami.
Right.
So you have had 4 postseason games that have not covered. So watch Seattle win. I'll take the Seahawks 21-17, and it's 4.5.
It would scare me. The 4.5 would scare me.
Right.
The
It's
last
a
2
defensive
rounds,
game
divisional
here
and conference championship, the favorites are 6-0. Says the guy who picked the underdogs in every
The favorites
game.
the last 2 rounds.
The last 2 rounds are
divisional.
6-0.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
They didn't. I'm not covered.
They ain't covered.
4-2.
But Seattle was
6-0
Seattle
straight
was favored.
up. Yeah.
Patriots are favored.
Yeah.
Patriots against Houston.
Yeah.
Seattle against the Niners. Rams against the Bears.
Right.
And Denver against. Was Denver favored against Buffalo?
Yes.
Yeah, they
By
were.
a point and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were.
Okay.
They were.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, off of that, greatest, I want to hear this, greatest single performance that you think of in the Super Bowl, right? I'm like who's the, when you think about.
I think you got to say Doug Williams.
Okay.
But they scored 35 points in the second quarter.
Well, I think 42.
Oh, is it 42 points in the second
Down
quarter?
10-0, and it used to be if you're down 10-0, the
it
game's
was
over.
over.
Yeah, it was 40,
You
they
could
scored
never
42.
recover.
Right.
I mean, they scored 42 points in one quarter. I know Tim Smith had 200 yards rushing in
Yeah,
the game.
it was incredible.
The
But
resident,
Williams'
the resident
performance.
Washington fan says it was 35. Gary.
So it was 35.
Gary
So
says it was
they
35.
scored 1 in the third quarter. That kind of did. All right.
So
So
it
it was 35
So it's
in the second.
35-10,
Right.
and then they made it easy
Third
in the
quarter,
second.
they ended it. And
That was a
it.
bad. I think that was impressive. I also think you got to look at Montana in the game against the Broncos when they
Right.
scored 55.
Right, 55-10.
He was incredible that day.
Right.
Elway was bad in that game.
Yeah.
I think that is one I would look at. How about Max McGee in the first one?
Yeah.
You know, walks in at 1 o'clock, at 8 o'clock in the morning when Star's having breakfast.
Right.
And then he goes out there and has, what do you have, 6 or 7 catches for
Yeah,
160
that one
yards?
the one
reaching
behind
back
his
behind
hand.
him.
Right.
He
right,
wasn't
right.
hungover, though. He was
Right.
still drunk.
Yeah,
Maybe it worked.
He wasn't feeling any pressure.
You know, Terrell Owens had one of the more underrated performances.
Right.
We talked earlier
he had a
about
lot of catches with a broken
MVP
foot.
from a losing team.
Yep.
He would have been the MVP if the Eagles had won that game.
Right. Yeah. No, I'd agree. I mean, there's a lot of those kind of stories right there where you talk about would have been the MVP or would have changed his career altogether if he didn't win. Like you talk about Elway, that's one I still like. Super Bowl 32, I think is the most memorable Super Bowl to me, right? Where this Favre versus Elway. Elway's going to choke in the Super Bowl again. Favre's the
Terrell Davis won that game,
right?
for him.
And the NFC were unstoppable, right? That was 15 years in a row of the NFC winning the Super Bowl, right? I believe the Packers were 9-point favorites in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, they were and they scored the first possession of the game.
And you're going,
Freeman.
here we go. Here goes the NFC again, right? So that was one that I'll never forget.
Terrell Davis won the first one, and Elway won the second one against
in
Atlanta.
Miami and
He
Atlanta.
played, you know, the Chuck Mercine's got a good story. You know, but Chuck Mercine, the great, the backup running back who got traded to Green Bay. In '67 from the Giants and played great against, in the playoffs.
Right.
And played great against Dallas in the Ice Bowl. He was so excited how well he played. His whole family went to the game in Miami.
Yeah.
Because to see Chuck play in the Super Bowl II, Lombardi never played him.
Oh, that's amazing.
He played the other back, Ben Smith, I forget his last name.
Right.
Played the other back who had 70 yards. So Morcine's family from Fairfield, Connecticut went to the Super Bowl. He didn't get a carry in the game after he played great in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
That's Lombardi. That's the genius
that's
of Lombardi.
Belichick stuff.
And that's
you know,
Belichick
right,
stuff.
exactly
That's
right.
a deep, deep cut by
That's
one
a
of
deep
our
dive.
one
That's
of
a deep
our
dive.
Super Bowl week favorites and favorites any week of the year. Chris Mad Dog Russo. Give a quick plug for your stuff this week.
Well, I mean, running around doing, I try to get Buster Posey on, try to get Steve Kerr on, try to do some other things.
Right.
Do have Josh Allen today.
Wow.
I'll enjoy that.
That's big time.
For a few minutes.
Yeah.
And the fact that, I didn't blame him nearly as much as everybody else did in the game that they lost. Here's the bottom line.
Yeah.
27-23. He leaves the field, and Denver goes down the field and scores a touchdown.
Yeah, right.
On 3rd and 11 with 2:38 to go, can Denver's defense make a freaking play and make Shane Payton punt? And then Buffalo gets a first down and can win the game.
Yeah.
So to me, he took too much grief.
He's not here, right?
No,
he's on
Zoom.
crutches and
He's
stuff.
on-
Yeah.
I
he's
hear
got
you there.
crutches.
He's one of the best players in the history of
Oh,
football.
I love him.
He's John Elway. I mean, that's what we're talking about.
He is.
In
Good
a
job.
lot of ways.
In a lot of ways, he's Elway.
And I'm with you. And
Try to be creative with these games.
He's heard me argue.
He's the
about that.
Elway, the Montana, the Brady, the Mahomes of the radio industry for the past how many
yeah,
years?
is that
How long
how
have
He
you
never
been doing
even
it?
brought
How
up
long
Phil
have you been doing
Simms'
it?
Super Bowl
19 I
performance.
love
He
your
didn't
father,
bring that one up.
1990, first one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.